Welcome to Session Gamer Peak, a new concept from the Renaissance Men. I am Stuart Garrard, your host for this video, and this is going to be me taking a quick look at some of my favourite and video games from the past few months or all time or whatever. Um, I've decided to start with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge because Turtle Mania has swept the world. That's right, Mutant Mayhem has released worldwide in the cinemas, and as you would have seen on the Renaissance Men podcast, we absolutely loved it. So back in the day, you would get a video game. Once you'd seen a film in the cinema, you'd go home and you would find and you play the latest video game release based on that film. We don't get that so much these days. The closest thing to Turtles is going ahead and playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, which is a tribute to the Konami Turtles beat 'em ups from the late 80s, early 90s. And you know, the Hyperstone heists and God knows what else we got on the SNES and Mega Drive, etc. This game released in, when did this release? November 15th, 2022. So it's a fairly recent release. The footage you're seeing is from the PlayStation 5 version that I've captured for you today. It was developed by Tribute Games and published by Dotemu. It has a Metacritic Metascore of 85, which is very good, I believe. And yeah, I thoroughly love this game. I have distinct memories of going down to Walton with my friends and checking out the local arcade there and playing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4-player arcade machine. And it was an absolute blast. This was probably at the height of Turtle Mania in the late 80s, very early 90s. And yeah, that arcade game was just fantastic. And this is the developers, Tribute Games, clearly felt the same way because they've produced what is, you know, I think a more than capable, able successor, if you like, homage, if you will, to that arcade game by Konami. Yeah, this plays fantastically. Obviously, you can play as the four turtles: Mikey, Leonardo, Raphael, and Donatello. But we've also got, as you saw previously, just a few minutes ago, you've got Splinter and April O'Neil, and I believe there's a expansion coming out to this very soon that adds a few more playable characters from the wider Turtle lore into as playable characters. So I'm pretty sure you get Casey Jones. I think White Rabbit might be in there. I can't remember who else. Visually, it's very much stylized on the 80s cartoon. You know, that was made to sold the Playmates toys. A very good documentary on Netflix if you want to watch it. The toys that made us, all about the rise of Turtle Mania and the production of the toys themselves. Very fascinating stuff. As you can see from this footage, it's tough. It's a tough old game. I can't remember what difficulty I'm playing this on, but yeah, it's pretty tough. You've got you've got basic attack buttons, which I think sit on the square button. You've got jump, you've got dodge. I can't remember if there was such a wide range of moves in the arcade game, so forgive me for that. But it does really feel like they've modernised this somewhat. In the fact that there's collectibles, as you see, that you can find on each level. There's a variety of special moves. There's certain elements of leveling up. So your characters do have a global level, if you like. So the more you play with a particular turtle, the more you will level up, and the more you will open up further moves. I'm always a Raph player, I have to say. I'm always playing with Raph. Each turtle has different stats. Raph is the most powerful character. I'm always a bit of a tank, to be honest. I mean, look at me. But yeah, so you know, you can pick your poison as it were. Yeah, I'm playing this single player, but you can play cooperatively. There's split screen and online multiplayer. there's a whole variety of achievements and challenges that you can take on whilst you're playing. So there's a wide variety of replayability in this, and that's probably one of the issues I would have tended to have had playing a game like this. Is, you know, very much of an arcade style. You know, those games were made for you to pump your quarters or your 50p's in. So they weren't particularly long, but I mean, this is footage from stage 11 in the game, where you kind of starting to muck about with, are they called pterosaurs? I think they're pterosaurs. Yeah, so I have recently moved on to stage 12, which is an absolute ball ache, I have to add. And yeah, I will attest to the difficulty of this game. I mean, you can see I'm struggling here. Yeah, I do have evidence, and this is purely anecdotal, that I think the difficulty does ramp up when you are playing, certainly multiplayer. I do think that the game throws a few more enemies at you, as it probably should, to be fair. Yeah, I do get a distinct sense that the game is more difficult if the more of you that are playing it. So there's combos out of dodges. You know, you can hit. It's got all the classics. You know, grabbing onto opponents and throwing them mode 7 style into the screen. And there is an achievement called, which I loved. It's called mode 7. You'll notice at this point that yeah, I was struggling quite a lot, so I had to enlist a co-op buddy in Benjamin, who chose Donatello, and yeah, he just you know, it's kind of just hop in, hop out multiplayer here. As easy as that. It's just hooking up your controller, pressing options on the PS5 controller, and yeah, away we go. I have seen evidence of like multiplayer moves. I'm pretty sure there's been moments where we've done like a shell attack. I don't ever remember the Turtles doing this in the cartoon, but certainly in the 90s film there was a move where they like squished some foot soldiers. Sorry, Foot Soldiers. Forgive me. Squish some Foot Clan members in between their shells, and that is certainly a move in this. But I don't know how he activated it. I think it might just be a contextual thing. As you saw there, there's like additional player character collectibles as well. So when you go around the levels and you bash open certain elements in the background, like a telephone box or something like that, or just a normal box. You can unlock, not to play, but there are characters to collect. So I know the frogs are in there. You would have seen just then that if you're playing multiplayer, then if you lose all of your health, then your character is downed, as it were, and you do get 10 seconds for your teammate to come and revive you. And I like the little touches when you're being revived. I think Raph, certainly when I'm reviving as Raph, I waft some pizza under the teammate's face to revive him, like smelling salts, which I thought was quite nice. And it's got loads of little touches like that. You know, some of the voice work is very close to the cartoon. It's a real love letter to that series, as well as the arcade game from Konami. So this is Captain Zorak. Zorak or Zorax? Can't remember. But boss fights typically get a boss at the end of each game, end of each level, I should say, featuring a variety of, you know, the antagonist characters from the TV show. I don't remember this guy, but I've certainly seen Leatherhead, Baxter Stockman's Fly, Bebop, Rocksteady, of course. And they do offer a challenge. You know, each boss does have a certain mechanic that you have to negotiate. This one, you know, he calls on other pterosaurs to stampede you, which is an absolute ball ache. Baxter Stockman, who I'm trying to fight at the moment, he employs like lasers and yeah. And Captain Zorak here has a shield that you have to kind of dodge past and hit him from behind. And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of particular enemies having particular vulnerabilities because they're attack types. Whether it's a Foot Clan member with a shield or a bow and arrow, or you know, you have to negotiate and defeat them in particular ways. Whether it's a jump and attack, a dodge and back kick. So there is some like quite a lot of complexity in it. And there we go. Benjamin saves the day, saving my bacon with only half a energy bar to go. Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge is an absolutely fantastic experience. And yeah, if Turtle Mania is sweeping its way into your hearts, go check this game out. Yeah, it's fantastic.